Hello and welcome to today's March 30th Daily News Report. If you're a subscribed member of my community, then welcome back. You watch this channel each day because I keep you in the loop on what's really going on in Washington, D.C. with President Biden and the U.S. economy, so let's jump right in. Well, Russia promised to drastically reduce their military action following negotiations in Turkey. However, reports show they didn't. So basically, they made a big promise and didn't keep it. No surprise there, right? Details from the negotiation have finally surfaced, and Russia's lead negotiator is saying that Ukraine has essentially agreed to not join NATO. This is one of Moscow's main demands, as they do not want foreign bases or foreign troops on Ukrainian soil. Furthermore, Russia's negotiator went even further and stated stated that their willingness to meet core Russian demands is something that they are looking forward to. So basically, Russia's happy that Ukraine is bending to Russia's will. It's sad, but with all of the damage going on, that might be the only route to peace. Now, American officials are rightfully skeptical of anything that Russia has to say at this point. And you should be too, because their recent track record shows that they're willing to be pretty deceitful. They are constantly wanting you to believe that Ukraine has given up. And if these reports are true, they would be at odds with what the Ukrainian people and leaders want you to believe. However, Zelensky, president of Ukraine, posted on Twitter yesterday claiming that the people of Ukraine seek peace. This is our unconditional priority. Satellite images were released of city blocks in the city of Mariupol, and it shows that it's just been completely and utterly destroyed. Very, very sad to see. Negotiations will continue as the world waits for peace to be restored in this part of the world. The Danish Prime Minister announced they will take in Ukrainian refugees with the understanding that it is temporary. No one should get comfortable, she said, because you are going back when this is over. As the investigation of the Hunter Biden laptop heats up, Donald Trump is back in the headlines after making controversial statements. In a new interview, Trump discussed his concern on what he believes was shady business done after stating that the mayor of Moscow's wife gave the Biden family $3.5 million with no clear reason why. Trump went on to call on Russian President Vladimir Putin to expose Biden after he discussed his belief that the Russian president knew what was going on and should release the information. This is, of course, getting a lot of backlash in the news, and major news outlets like CNN are stating Trump shows willingness to solicit and embrace domestic help from foreign powers, even Putin, while they're in the middle of war. So he's back in the news asking for Putin to basically back him up on his claims. Hunter Biden was paid heavily for consulting work in Ukraine and China. This is now a fact that everybody knows. However, the Department of Justice would have to prove that there have been any wrongdoings. With that being said, the Justice Department has said officially that there is a criminal investigation going on and that they will update people on the public. But the truth is, most things the Department of Justice does are done quietly until there's some big breaking news. However, Trump is also in his own legal messes. A federal judge has said that Donald Trump might be liable for criminal action if a court or a lawsuit could prove he blocked the peaceful transition of power as a sitting president. The House of Representatives is currently working on a bill to legalize marijuana in all 50 states and U.S. territories. Pelosi said the decriminalization of marijuana should pass in the House with flying colors. She did not say how it would do over in the Senate. The United States road traffic volume has finally recovered to pre-pandemic levels as the world starts to function normally again. However, this growing demand is putting even more pressure on President Biden to solve the oil supply problem. The Wall Street Journal has reported a re-emergence of excitement in investing in the oil industry. Investors are putting up millions and millions of dollars to fund new infrastructure for oil and gas after seeing just how dependent America is on other countries. Many Wall Street investors are saying this is dangerous, so they're willing to put their money where their mouth is. With that being said, investors should remain cautiously optimistic as there is a battle between big oil and the future of electric cars going on in the country right now. I saw, just as a side note, the oil stocks that I shared with you previously are growing like crazy. That makes me really happy to see a company that I told you about having tremendous growth. That doesn't mean that they're going to keep growing, so I'm not saying to jump in. You should definitely do your own research, but I was happy to see that those have gone up nicely for people. Now, when there's traffic on the road, this is usually a good sign for jobs. Between February and March, there were 455,000 new jobs added, 377,000 of which were in the service industry, so restaurants, hotels, things like that. The first quarter of 2022 has added roughly 1.5 million jobs. This is awesome. Millions of Americans are finding it easy to be hired, but also easier to quit. So there's a lot of imbalance in the job market right now. 4.4 million Americans quit their job in the month of February, largely due to increased opportunity and increased job demand. Post-pandemic circumstances have caused the job market to be more flexible than usual. And so that's why we're seeing a lot of people moving jobs at a faster rate than we've ever seen in history. Economists have said the cost of living for an average U.S. adult has risen greatly, and in just the last few months. With this data in mind, the senior director of Housing Policy and Research team has stated he wants to see more housing vouchers. Housing vouchers help low-income consumers avoid homelessness and poverty. However, the program right now is suffering from low funding. About 25% of consumers who qualify for assistance actually received it. And so that's something that government officials are saying we need to support more people with rising rent and rising housing prices. It's just getting ridiculous to be able to even put a roof over your head right now. Rent has surged on average 17% in just the last year. So this, combined with 40-year high inflation, is making living in the United States very, very expensive. Increased inflation is causing many to buy cryptocurrency, but cryptocurrency can have its flaws if it's not one of the bigger coins. A popular game developer, Ronin Network, just announced that it was hacked and lost $625 million. Cryptocurrency is very secure, and it uses blockchain technology to keep everything on the network secure. However, this group was hacked. It was not Bitcoin or Ethereum. I don't endorse any other coins. It was specifically, they went after Axie Infinity Network. And so they're going to have to make that up to their investors because of that massive hack. In Washington, D.C., Senator Mitch McConnell defended Justice Clarence Thomas after calls for his impeachment were made. McConnell accused the opposing side of clumsy bullying as he referenced the dedicated efforts that Justice Thomas has showed the United States for over 30 years. Now, this is because Justice Thomas's wife had been communicating about election fraud, and so now they're saying he needs to be impeached. So each party is seeing this situation differently. In other news, Senator Joe Manchin shot down President Biden's new plan to raise $360 billion in tax revenue by imposing a minimum 20% tax rate on the ultra-wealthy. Manchin went on to state that you can't tax something that hasn't been officially earned. Earned income is what we base taxation on, and there's no other way to do it. Now, I told you yesterday they wanted to tax people based on the market going up, but not based on them pulling money out of the market. So basically, if the market was up, you would be taxed even though you haven't actually received that money. Now, Manchin is saying everybody needs to pay their fair share, But on the other hand, Senator Ron Wyden, a different Democrat, does support President Biden's new proposal. He says, listen, the billionaires have to pay the same tax rates as the middle class. And this new tax plan proposed by President Biden only affects the 0.01% of the U.S. population. However, many are saying it's dangerous to tax people on money they haven't officially received yet. Now, speaking of Joe Manchin, 80 Democrat lawmakers are urging President Biden to restart Build Back Better discussions, and Senator Joe Manchin says, I'm on board, let's talk. So he's ready to move forward. White House Chief of Staff Ron Klain said the best parts of the Build Back Better bill should pass, along with some other key areas. He did not say what those other key areas would be. He said budget reconciliation will be the path forward once Joe Manchin is officially on board. Regarding the gasoline stimulus vouchers, Democrats are not on the same page. Some want you to get nothing. Others say $300 a month until this situation is resolved. Others say it should only be $100 a month, while still others are saying there should be an income cap and everyone below that should get a $500 stimulus check that they can use towards gas or anything they want. So it's still very much up in the air what's going to happen, but at least they are now aware of the fact that these high gas prices are hurting too many people. The price of gas has started to come down in many areas of the country, so hopefully that trend continues and more states are removing temporarily their gas tax in order to help their state citizens. President Biden announced that he will get his fourth COVID shot tomorrow, and will do it on camera to prove the efficacy of those shots. Now, this is my update for today. As I know more, I will definitely come on and share more with you. The 200 winner contest that Casey and I are doing ends tomorrow at midnight. And so get your name in. I'll make sure to leave a link below. You could win cash, one of these amazing hats, a shirt, or a hoodie. It's our way of saying thank you for being in our community. Now, before you go, I just want to remind you that you are amazing. I appreciate you being in my community, and I'll see you on the next video.